Okay, it's that time of the month again, and we are back with another episode of Letters from Camp. Tonight we have two very special guests. We have Nick Valiton and Roger Murray. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, hello.
All right, we're very excited to have you here. We're going to talk about some exciting stuff that is coming up. But as always, we just kind of like to get people's camp stories. So tell us a little bit about when you first came, camper years, staff years, areas you worked in, that kind of thing. Take us through your kind of camp careers.
Cool. Raj, I know you won the rock, paper, scissors before we started tonight, so you can go first.
Right. All right. So yeah, so my camp year, I guess the first time I came to Camp Winoxet was 2009 was my first year. I had previously been a Camp Split Rock lifer. But yeah, my first year was 2009. I was a camper until 2011. And then in 2012, I did the CIT program with Mr. Nick Valiton. After that, I joined the junior staff as a handicraft staffer. And then I spent 2 years in the trading post, followed by assistant provost scoutmaster / communications director. And my last year at camp was 2017.
Raj, I think you and I are going to have very similar stories. I also started at camp in 2009 as a camper, previously a split rock lifer. I like that term. And then was a camper until 2011, CIT'd in 2012, and then started in 2013 on the Scoutcraft staff, did all of the lashings and cooking and all things like that. And then got a surprise twist and brought down to the waterfront in 2014 and remained there the rest of my Camp Winoxet years. My last year on staff being also 2017. So as an assistant program area director down there, driving the boats.
2017 as well. This is quite the club here. The We Stopped in 2017 club. That's good.
That's it.
So you're both CITs in the same year. Who is your CIT director?
That would be one Anthony Cuoco.
Big Cuokes.
Wow. Yep. Wow. That's a good one.
The one thing that I still remember, and I was thinking about it the other day, is the CIT walk that Cuoco was really big on, of just like how to walk faster. And the trick, taking larger, longer steps, not taking faster steps. And I still use it sometimes if I'm running late.
Was that like a marching advice or just in general?
No, we were like on a trail up near the shower house. And I think we were like doing trail work or something. And he's like, well, if you're looking to move fast, and he had us practicing our CIT walk, like sprinting through the trails.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, throughout camp's history, there's been kind of known duos, whether it be, Coleman and Neville or Coleman and Gustafson or whoever, and you two are certainly in that club. So was it instant friendship? Did it evolve over time? How did you become kind of a dynamic duo at camp?
I'm actually really curious to hear Nick's answer to this one. We purposely have not spoken about this. This question might be coming up tonight, but I would like to hear Nick's answer first, and then I'll give you mine.
And Raj, I thought about reaching out earlier today and saying, like, should we script an answer that's better than the true story? And decided not to. No, Roger and I were a bit cold to each other when we first met, I think. We CIT together, but I don't think we really like got to know each other that summer until we were CITs got to take a couple of merit badges. We were in the sailing merit badge in the morning. I think it was week 4. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you who taught it, but it was the two of us and 2 campers. And I just remember like deeply competitive. And I knew that Roger was also a CIT, and it was like, it's either him or me. Like one of us has to stand out and be the CIT in this class. And so because we were both CITs, we got split up. And so one of us was each with a camper in the boat with us. And I just like, if Roger was going fast with the wind, it's like, all right, I got to go faster. How can we do that? Like small things like that. And honestly, Roger, I thought you were a little like snobby when I first met you. So yeah. I don't know. That's where I'll leave off. And then Roger, you can tell the arc.
So that actually kind of aligns pretty well with my own recollection, which was so when I was a CIT that year, I went to Seabase, and so I actually missed staff week because of that. And I ended up doing the Split Rock staff week. And I remember I came in week 3. I did week 3 and 4 as a CIT, and then week 7 as a camper. When I came in week 3, I felt very intimidated because all the other CITs, they knew each other, they knew the staff. I had no idea what was going on. I had learned a little bit at the Split Rock staff week, but I hadn't met any of the Winoxet staff. And there were so many CITs. I remember talking to Cuoco at one point, who said that there are maybe 7 slots that were going to open up next year. And that year, I think they had 42 CITs. And I just remembered, yeah, because you were week 4, I think. And so I remembered week 3 that they talked about you. And they were talking about, oh, Nick Valiton, like he's so outgoing, like he's totally going to be on staff. And I was not a super outgoing person. I was not trustworthy like right off the bat with people. So I like forced myself. I was like, okay, whatever this Nick person's doing, like he's doing something right. All right. So like I got to figure out what that is. And so, I tried to like be more outgoing and talk to more people. And then yeah, we ended up taking that sailing class. And I remember the entire week we were with these 2 campers, just trying to get them to work the sailboats. And then I think it was Thursday or Friday was the last day of the week that they said that, we were going to swap and Nick and I were going to be in a sailboat together. And I remember that, that was kind of like where it clicked and where it worked. And, I think that the competition from Nick was very much the reason why I came out of my shell and why I was successful in getting a job the next year. But that's sort of how it kicked off, I'd say.
Raj, you put me in a much better light in your story than I put you in mine.
Yeah, that's the way it always goes, buddy.
That's great. And certainly, your years on staff, you definitely developed a strong friendship that continues to this day.
Yeah, I know some of our greatest hits, right? Like the Aero Tour video I think of, or I know we try not to bring that one up anymore.
The word digital footprint wasn't around, I recall, when I made a lot of those videos.
So one of the main reasons I wanted to have you both on is, you guys are part of the committee, that's been planning out the summer family fun day at Camp Winox. It's kind of the big 100th anniversary celebration where people can come to camp. So tell us a little bit about, some of what people can expect that day, why they should come up, kind of take us through the rundown there.
Yeah, so we are looking at June 29th. Planning on kicking off the day around 8:30 with the 5-mile road race. So this is an event I know we do every summer. And then more recently, we've been doing it as part of the Alumni Association. The idea is you come up to camp. It's a beautiful sunny Saturday morning. We'll kick off the race and you run around the lake. It's about 5 miles, come back through the parking lot. After that, we'll have folks come in. We'll be doing some history tours for folks who haven't been to camp in a little while. Come back and check that out, see the changes to the property, things of that sort. We'll have the full history museum exhibition set up in the boathouse for viewing. So that'll be really cool. A lot of old patches and things of that sort that have been collected. We're really going to kick off the main kind of attraction of the day with a full barbecue lunch, absolute camp style in the dining hall. Think somebody's leading a song, we're leading grace, afternoon announcements, all crazy things like that. It'll be a real buzz in the dining hall. And then we're going to go into open program. So we're going to open up a few of the area programs in the camp, trading post, climbing tower, waterfront, archery range, scoutcraft. So we'll have all of those areas staffed with volunteers. It's going to be a really great day. We're going to close out with a campfire and some good fellowship, friendship, all that good stuff. So should be a good time.
Great. Yeah. And, for maybe people who haven't been to camp since the 60s, 70s, 80s, what do you think are some of the biggest kind of changes they're going to notice?
Raj?
I mean, I think one of the coolest parts about, even since we we're kind of started out as campers, is really just how much camp has grown and expanded. And the footprint is larger and it's much more modern. We had a couple of new buildings that went up, and we've got a lot of new equipment. And I think that this is a really great time to sort of showcase it's a great time to kind of showcase the kind of new equipment and activities that we have, but using kind of the same camp model. And so I think what I'm really excited about, frankly, is like I feel like this is really going to be a great event to meet people from all different types of generations. We do a lot of events that are kind of we have events that are geared towards the more younger crowd and events that are more geared toward kind of the older generations. But this is really just kind of a chance for everyone from camp to come together and kind of reclaim it as theirs. And you can kind of see how it's evolved over the years and meet staff from other generations and trade stories. And, I think it's going to be a really great time.
And, the camp staff has their own jobs to do. They're just going to have been finishing up staff week at that point. They're going to be getting ready for week one. So we do not want to put any of the onus for running any of these programs on them. So, Nick, maybe you could kind of talk about volunteers and what we're looking for.
We are looking for volunteers to run program areas, to help in the kitchen, to help take out trash cans and build the campfire and help run check-in. Really anything. Think of any role that a camp staff member might take at the camp during the regular camp program. We're looking for someone to do that. So as long as you're not on the 2024 Camp Winoxet paid staff, we will take you happily as a volunteer. It's going to be a great time. We're also very flexible with the hours for that too. So we're looking for folks to help staff during the open program, but we also want to make sure that our volunteers can participate in the open program. So we've got 2 shifts. So, if you're not wanting to totally forego the participant experience, we've got an option for you as well. And we'll share the link to sign up for that volunteer staff, I'm sure.
Yeah. And where can people go to kind of get information on these registrations?
Yeah, so we've got a page up on the council website. You can check out all of the details about the event, think timing, location, things to bring, that sort of thing, all going to be on that website. And then the registration for the event to be a participant, also linked to from that website. It's off the council site. And then if you're looking to sign up, that's just a Google form.
Great. All right. So let's head into our lightning round where we ask the same standard 5 questions to all of our guests. So let's start off with your favorite camp song.
All right, I'm going to reach into the archives here. This was my favorite camp song throughout all of camp, and it never really comes up in the dining hall, but It Ain't Gonna Rain No More. That is still my favorite song to this day.
And I'm going to stick with the classics, and it's Swimming Hole. There's something about holding that O for as long as you can. I love it.
How about your favorite camp skit?
It's got to be Venetian Fountains.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Absolutely. No question.
I like that it comes back every few years.
Oh, yeah.
That is a good one. Favorite camp meal?
I remember, what was it? Hunter's chicken? Is that what it was? With the mushrooms and the gravy. That was always the post-sunset summit meal when I was a camper, and I just would crave it, going up and down the mountain.
Yeah, I'm thinking the turkey dinner. I'm a sucker for cranberry sauce.
And your favorite place in camp?
Got to be chapel.
I'm gonna go chapel's absolutely my number 2. I would say my number 1 is on top of the guard tower.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. And was there anyone who kind of served maybe as a role model or mentor, maybe in your camper years, that you really looked up to that you want to kind of shout out?
I really think that, a lot of my ability to succeed on the camp staff was set by, or was made by the tone that Anthony Cuoco set. I really think he was just an outstanding CIT director for our year. And he all made us want to strive to be better. And I think that's what you need in a role model like that. And so, yeah, to this day, I think he has an outsized impact.
I hope Cuoco watches this, because I'm going to say the same thing. He was our CIT director and absolutely, like you said, Raj, like set the stage. But he ended up being our waterfront director when I was an assistant director a few years later. Like all throughout my time at Winoxet, Cuoco ended up being kind of a staple. So I would agree.
Yeah, that's such an important job at camp, kind of ushering in the new generation. And a lot of people who have gone on to be camp directors and program directors have been CIT director. And it's kind of definitely one of the more important areas in camp. And you look to now at how long Adam Morse has been doing it, and he's got his own like generation of minions now that he's kind of seen through. But that's great. Anything kind of you want to close out with? Anything we didn't get to that you want to mention?
I'm really excited for the summer event. I think it's going to be huge. I know, Mike, we've talked about this, but like at our recent spring volunteer event, we had something like 75 folks come up, and that's the event where you work. And now we have a bigger event planned where we're going to play. And I think it's going to be huge. I think we're going to see a lot of folks come out of the woodwork for that. So definitely not an event you want to miss for sure.
I would definitely echo that. I have been craving a trip up to camp. I live much further away now than I did a couple of years ago, and it's so much harder to get up there. So it's great to have an excuse to go and to be able to spend the day kind of just reliving camp memories and meeting new people. So I'm so stoked for it.
Yeah, and I think you know, we are going to get some people from pretty far away. I've heard of people coming from Colorado, Virginia. So you know, I think people will be making the trip. Several lovely hotels in the Keene area, you know, if you're looking to stay for the weekend. But yeah. All right. So all that information can be found on the council website. The 100th anniversary has a dedicated page where you can find that information. And thank you so much, Nick and Roger, for joining me tonight.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And tune in next month for the next episode of Letters from Camp.